Paul Pierce breaks silence after DUI arrest. NBA legend says I'm old and tired following Los Angeles freeway incident. Los Angeles, California, the 10th of October 2025. NBA Hall of Famer Paul Pierce is back in the national spotlight this week after his arrest on suspicion of driving under the influence drew headlines across sports and mainstream media. The former Boston Celtics star, widely known by his nickname The Truth, has publicly responded to the incident, describing it as a misunderstanding caused by exhaustion rather than alcohol impairment. Pierce, 47, was taken into custody late Tuesday night, October the 7th, by California Highway Patrol (CHP) officers after being found asleep behind the wheel of a Range Rover on northbound U.S. Highway 101 near Universal City. According to an official CHP report, officers had initially been dispatched to a multi-vehicle collision at approximately 10:40 p.m. When traffic cleared, a separate vehicle, later identified as Pierce's, remained stopped near the crash scene. Officers approached and discovered the former NBA player asleep at the wheel, displaying what they described as signs of alcohol impairment. The statement from the CHP read, "When officers approached, they found the driver, later identified as Paul Pierce, asleep at the wheel. Officers noted signs of alcohol impairment and conducted a DUI investigation. Authorities confirmed that Pierce was detained, transported to a nearby station, and booked on suspicion of misdemeanor DUI before being released early Wednesday morning pending review by the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office." Pierce was said to be cooperative throughout the arrest process, and no injuries or property damage were reported. The incident did not appear related to the earlier freeway collision. Pierce breaks his silence on Friday, the 10th of October, 2 days after his release. Pierce addressed the situation publicly through Threads, Meta's social media platform, posting both an image and a statement attempting to explain the circumstances. "Imagine being stuck in standstill traffic for 45 minutes and falling asleep," Pierce wrote. "I'm old, I'm tired, and I fell asleep. I'm good, y'all, thanks for the love." The post included a photograph of gridlocked traffic on the 101 freeway and immediately went viral, amassing thousands of comments within hours. While some fans and fellow athletes expressed empathy, others questioned the tone and timing of the post, suggesting it downplayed the seriousness of a potential DUI. Pierce did not directly mention alcohol or respond to follow-up questions about the incident. Investigation and legal review underway. The Los Angeles City Attorney's Office is now reviewing the CHP's report and accompanying evidence, including field sobriety test results, officer body camera footage, and Pierce's breath analysis readings. Officials say a formal decision on whether to file misdemeanor DUI charges could come within 2 to 3 weeks. Under California law, a first-time DUI offense can result in fines and court fees up to several $1,000s, 3 to 5 years of probation, mandatory participation in a DUI education program, driver's license suspension, and in some cases, up to 6 months in county jail. Legal analysts note that Pierce's case may hinge on the issue of actual physical control, a key factor under California DUI statutes. If prosecutors cannot prove that he was actively operating the vehicle while impaired, the case could be weakened. Attorney Michael McCulloch, a Los Angeles-based criminal defense expert not involved in the case, told reporters that if the car was stationary and there's evidence that Pierce had fallen asleep while stopped, the prosecution will need to show that the vehicle was on, or capable of being driven, to establish probable impairment under the law. Pierce's career, from glory to controversy. Paul Pierce's name remains synonymous with the Boston Celtics championship resurgence of the 2000s. Drafted 10th overall in 1998, Pierce spent 15 seasons in Boston, becoming the face of the franchise through years of both rebuilding and triumph. He earned 10 NBA All-Star selections and was named NBA Finals MVP in 2008, when he led the Celtics, alongside Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen, to a 6-game victory over the Los Angeles Lakers. Over his 19-season career, which also included stints with the Brooklyn Nets, Washington Wizards, and Los Angeles Clippers, Pierce averaged 19.7 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game. He retired in 2017 as one of the league's most prolific scorers, finishing with 26,397 points, ranking among the top 20 all-time. Pierce was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2021, solidifying his place among basketball's elite. However, in the years following retirement, the Hall of Famer's off-court image has been marked by a series of controversies and legal challenges, contrasting sharply with the disciplined reputation he built on the court. Post-NBA controversies following his retirement, Pierce transitioned into broadcasting, joining ESPN's NBA Countdown and The Jump as a studio analyst. His straightforward commentary and unfiltered style earned attention, but in 2021, he was terminated after broadcasting a profanity-filled Instagram live video showing him socializing with friends in a private home setting. The video, which circulated widely on social media, led ESPN to sever ties with the analyst. Pierce later defended his actions, saying he was just having fun and expressing no regret about his behavior or the consequences. Later, in 2022, Pierce faced another setback when he was sued by cryptocurrency investors related to his endorsement of Ethereum (EMAX), a speculative digital token. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) charged him with unlawfully promoting crypto assets without proper disclosure. Pierce ultimately settled with the SEC for $1.4 million in fines and penalties, agreeing to refrain from similar promotions but not admitting or denying wrongdoing. Despite these controversies, Pierce remains a prominent figure within basketball circles, frequently attending Boston Celtics events, charity functions, and mentoring young athletes. Community and fan response following news of his arrest. Reaction from the basketball community has been widespread. Former teammate Kendrick Perkins, speaking on his podcast earlier this week, said, "Paul's always been one of the realest people I've known. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. I just hope he's okay and takes this as a moment to slow down. We've all been through things after basketball." Social media commentary ranged from supportive to critical. Many fans, especially in Boston, defended Pierce as someone who has given much to the game and the community. Others argued that his post-retirement decisions risk tarnishing an otherwise Hall of Fame legacy. One fan wrote on X, formerly Twitter, "Paul Pierce gave everything to the Celtics, is human, and humans make mistakes. Let's not forget the man's contributions to the sport." Another user countered, "Being tired isn't an excuse for endangering lives. If you're exhausted, pull over. This isn't something to joke about." Public image and legacy. Paul Pierce's reputation has long rested on a combination of competitive fire, confidence, and authenticity. His nickname, The Truth, coined by Shaquille O'Neal in 2001, reflected his ability to perform under pressure and speak honestly both on and off the court. Yet in recent years, that same candor has drawn criticism. Pierce's public persona, unfiltered and occasionally combative, has led to polarizing perceptions, especially as his off-court headlines have increased. Still, his basketball legacy remains untouchable. He was the focal point of Boston's resurgence, leading the Celtics back to relevance after years of mediocrity. His number 34 jersey, retired by the franchise in 2018, hangs in the rafters of TD Garden as a lasting tribute to his impact. Legal experts weigh in with the city attorney's review ongoing. Attorneys and former prosecutors have been weighing in on the likely outcomes. Given his cooperative behavior and lack of prior offenses, it's possible this could resolve without significant jail time, assuming the evidence isn't overwhelming, said Dana Caldwell, a Los Angeles-based criminal defense attorney. But even if it's reduced, the optics matter. A DUI arrest carries public stigma, especially for high-profile individuals. Another expert, Dr. Lionel Green, a legal analyst specializing in sports law, added that high-profile athletes often face amplified consequences in the court of public opinion. Even if he's cleared, Pierce will have to manage the perception issue. The road ahead. At present, no court date has been scheduled for Pierce, and no formal charges have been filed. The city attorney's office has not commented beyond confirming receipt of the case file from the CHP. If the office declines prosecution, the matter could conclude quietly. If charges are filed, Pierce would likely appear in Los Angeles County Superior Court for an arraignment later this fall. Pierce's representatives have not issued additional statements, and his social media accounts have remained largely inactive since his initial post. Pierce's place in basketball history. Despite the headlines, Pierce's influence on the NBA remains substantial. He is remembered for his leadership during Boston's 2008 title run, his iconic battles with Kobe Bryant, and his ability to deliver in clutch moments, including a defining 41-point performance in the 2008 finals. His competitive edge earned him respect across generations of players. Current Celtics star Jason Tatum has frequently cited Pierce as one of his role models, calling him a legend who set the standard for what it means to wear green and white. Pierce continues to make occasional public appearances at Celtics events and youth programs, focusing on mentorship and community outreach. Broader impact on athlete conduct and public perception. Pierce's arrest has reignited broader discussions about athlete accountability, especially among retired players navigating post-career challenges. Sports psychologists note that the transition from professional competition to retirement can bring lifestyle adjustments, mental fatigue, and issues of public scrutiny. Many retired athletes struggle to redefine themselves outside the spotlight, said Dr. Renee Chapman, a behavioral expert who works with former pro players. The structure and discipline of their playing days can be hard to replace, and sometimes that leads to misjudgments that are magnified because of who they are. Summary: as of now, Paul Pierce remains under investigation, with no formal charges yet filed. The CHP continues to coordinate with prosecutors, and officials emphasize that the process is routine for cases of this nature. If the city attorney's office proceeds, Pierce could face penalties under California's first offense DUI guidelines. If not, the incident may be dismissed as a misunderstanding stemming from fatigue, as he claims. Regardless of the legal outcome, Pierce's situation highlights the ongoing intersection of fame, accountability, and public perception in the post-career lives of professional athletes. For now, the truth has spoken, insisting that exhaustion, not intoxication, was to blame. The coming weeks will reveal whether that explanation stands up to scrutiny, both in court and in the eyes of fans who once cheered his every shot.